Good evening, and thank you for joining us, Aaron. We're looking forward to a big decision today. Today is the day that the AJHL is voting on whether or not the Friends of the Lloydminster Bobcats ownership bid will go through. Yeah, they are. They went and they were in the meeting at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, we don't have a final decision. They are working on it still right now. Hopefully, though, by the time this cast is out, we will have a final word for you. We'll definitely update that as soon as we get that information. Gerard, how are we looking in the weather?
We're looking in the weather just as we were looking yesterday. Yesterday we were looking at the weekend specifically, but right about now what we're dealing with is +6. 48% is that humidity. The winds out of the southeast at 28 to 37 kilometers an hour. And yesterday, of course, we were talking about concerns for the weekend. The weekend is just stretched even one day earlier that we have those concerns for. But for now, in the Lakeland region, what you're dealing with is a +7, got there at 4 o'clock, and as well in the Battlefords, a +5, got there at 2 this afternoon. In terms of the precipitation that's coming in the next 24 hours, we'll talk about it shortly, but that's a first look at the weather.
A 26-year-old mother from the Cold Lake First Nation has been charged with aggravated assault after an incident last week. RCMP responded to a call last Thursday after the mother allegedly bit her 10-year-old son.
The blood was coming from a mark in his scalp as a result of a bite mark. There was all indication from the injury that, it could quite possibly be a bite mark.
A 6-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy were also in the home at the time of the incident.
There was no indication of other injuries to the other children. There were other injuries outside of what appeared to be the bite mark on the 10-year-old, and that was all investigated and whatever necessary evidence taken from that too.
Police suspect alcohol was a factor, and all 3 children are now in the care of Child and Family Services. Off-road enthusiasts in the Battlefords area need to watch where they ride. RCMP have received complaints of ATVs and snowmobiles tearing up protected areas on Finlayson Island. Under the town of Battlefords bylaws, first-time offenders can be fined $75 and a second-time offense will cost $150. If a charged person fails to appear in court, they could face an additional $250 fine, and the ATV or snowmobile can be seized or impounded. Because the island area within the town is protected, damage there could also result in criminal charges being laid. RCMP say they will be making regular patrols of the area. An RCMP officer from Lac La Biche has been given a conditional sentence order after pleading guilty to assault on a suspect in custody. Constable Desmond Sandbo was caught assaulting the man in custody on surveillance camera at the Lac La Biche detachment on September 13, 2009. Sambo has been a member of the RCMP for 9 years, and the incident is being investigated internally and will continue after the criminal court process is done. Sambo has currently been suspended without pay, and pending the internal investigation, disciplinary actions could include dismissal. The NDP candidate for the Battlefords Lloydminster constituency is working hard on his campaign. This is Glen Tait's first time running in a federal election. However, he's no stranger to politics. Tait ran in the provincial election in 1996, and as Shauna Roshik explains, he's ready to be heard and take action.
Glen Tait is a graduate from the University of Saskatchewan and farms in the Meota area. As a producer, he feels the current railway system is ineffective, resulting in added expenses for the farmer.
It costs anywhere between 3 and 10 times as much to move grain by truck as it does by rail, and they're reducing railway tracks all the time so that cost is being shifted on to the farmers where it should be borne by the railways.
With household debt at record levels and credit card borrowing on the rise, Tait says a plan needs to be implemented to stop the bleeding, an issue his party supports.
The New Democrats want to put a cap on interest rates on credit cards. It's bordering on usury right now, 19 and 20% rates, and there's no need for that.
Tait also says big corporations are the ones benefiting from the Canadian-European Comprehensive Trade Agreement, giving big businesses all the power.
The Conservatives seem to go for the big deal. Not the good deal, just the big deal. And we should go for the smaller one-on-one bilateral trade agreements, such as we had with Colombia, that seem to be working for us.
With the election just over 2 weeks away, Tait has a full schedule.
There are about 70,000 people in this ride, and there's no way I can meet them all, but I'm going to try and meet as many as I can, talk to them, find out what their issues are, what their problems are, and what they want in a federal representative.
Shauna Roshik, Newcap News.
In just over a week, high school students from the Lloyd Comp will be showing off their best at the regional skills competition held in Vermilion. With 3 hours to complete a task, the setting is like reality TV competition for students in trades and technology programs. Kathy Lee explains what some first-time competitors will gain from the experience.
Even before April was coined Safe Digging Month, Raymond Green and a team always go over a checklist before working.
We do line locates, first calls, and hazard assessments, on-site hazard assessments, so that everybody's aware of any hazards on site for that particular day for that job.
It's really important. A lot of people get hurt each year from unsafe trenching and unsafe digging, period.
With more projects breaking ground around this season and an increase in calls to Sask First Call, Safe Digging Month for April was made official in Saskatchewan this year.
Its goal is to try to promote effective damage prevention practices in connection with underground infrastructure in the province.
I think it's great. I think that anytime they can promote safety on any work site is good for everybody that's on the work site.
Because large equipment like this excavator is used at construction sites, it's crucial to follow the rules so no one gets hurt. However, promoting safe digging also extends to even the smallest projects in your backyard.
Awareness comes at many different levels, and you know, if a homeowner's deciding to build a fence or a deck, and they're out, you know, using a postal logger or digging in their backyard, we want those people to be reminded to make that call to Sask First Call.
In addition to caving banks from the thawing ground, feldspar workers say residents should also know about underground utility right-of-ways before digging.
A lot of people don't know about it. No, all they know is the power comes in the house, but nobody knows where it comes from.
Kathy Lee, Newcap News.